Go ahead. It's
Hey
time.
everyone, welcome to the Thursday 11 a.m. Capitalized Coaching Call. Glad to see you all on here. Ron's on the Zoom. We've got a couple of people on Facebook groups. We actually have a couple of people in the room next to me. So we're kind of broadcasting all over the place right now. But right now I want to begin with saying thank you to Sharon. Sharon Grant led last week's meeting. And I watched that recording. She did a phenomenal job. And that's on me. I have not reposted that yet. I've got a tiny bit of editing that I have not finished. But guys, thank you so much. And Ron and I were just having a discussion about future 11 o'clock topics. One of them being managing all of our content, organizing them on Google Drive, and some things like that. So, like Ron just did, if you ever have topics that you would like to for me to address, or you'd like the group to kind of have an interaction on, please just let me know. So that's how topics like scheduling on Meta became a topic one day, because we had a pre 11 o'clock conversation. And now one of the practicalities of all this content we're creating is, what do you do with it all? Where do you keep it? And so organization on Google Drive or other places is, or some other device is absolutely essential if we don't want to get overwhelmed. And I'm constantly trying to keep up with my organization of mine and my clients' content. So we'll definitely take up that topic. But today I did a little poll throughout the week, and one of the topics was creating content that gets attention. I did not call it how to create viral content, because I don't teach that, because honestly, I've only, if you want to use the word viral, I've only gone viral probably ever once. And viral is not necessarily what we want to shoot for. The only time we need to worry about going viral or getting thousands and thousands of views is if you get paid per view. If you do, great. That's what your goal is. Otherwise, thousands of views is what I call a vanity metric. Just makes us feel good. What matters is sales. I mean, how many people are interacting with our content? How many people see it and we have a chance to do business with? That's really what matters, because we can get thousands of views. What will it matter? I'll give you an example of that. A couple of weeks ago, I went to see Metallica in concert, and it was it was a nationwide headline. They were at Virginia Tech University, and the crowd was so excited that the Richter scale was set off. It was registered as an earthquake, that the concert was so loud and so raucous, and it made national news, and I was at that concert. Well, I just recorded two videos during the concert, uh, thousands of views, because it was trending on TikTok, it was trending on Facebook, and the thing I went to is what was everybody was looking for. So my TikTok numbers were great, my Facebook numbers were great. None of that matters. I mean, because I'm not going to get clients because I went to a Metallica concert. It's going to make my metrics look good for the month, and so I never want us to chase numbers. What we want is interactions, leads, and clients. Now, having said that, I am going to show you guys a couple of strategies that are going to help you get more views, likes, and eyeballs. And the first thing I can tell you is the best way to do it is to put out good content. That's it. Like, get better with your content every day is the most important thing. Because the better the content, the better an opportunity for people to see it. So I'm going to share my screen on a couple of things here. I'm going to go over to this page first. So this past weekend, I ran 2 races, and I did really well. I won a bunch of hardware and a story to tell, and there were some good photos taken by me and my friends. So here's this post. This photo of me holding that trophy, that plaque, was taken by my buddy Danny. It's a great photo. I mean, like, he captured the moment. You can see how excited it was. These are my awards. I laid them out and took them in a certain way. These are all good photos. There's a story behind it. I explain, hey, I won the Grandmasters title. I ran with Danny. Thank you, Anita. There's a lot of people in here I mentioned. This is a good post. It's got good photos. It's got good content. For me, I got 77 comments. Someone shared it, and I got 140 people liking it. Why that? Why is not every piece of content I do like that? Because this is just a better post. I took the time to type it out. I took more time than normal. I had people to tag that cared about it. That share was from Anita. She shared that post. And there's just better than normal photos. Typically, that's always going to win in the internet game. It's just a better post, better photos. I took the time. Now, eventually we want to get to the point of all of our content is this significant, but we don't have days like this all the time. I don't run 2 races in one weekend. I don't win a race every time I run. I don't have these stories. This one just worked out. Now, if you look at my week, podcast, nothing. Okay, it's fine. This is just a normal post, right? I didn't get hardly anything on that. Videos, these videos are getting good numbers. Why? Because I had them professionally filmed. I did 90 of these videos one day. These are getting good numbers. Why? It's better content. Here, I'm telling people to come to a seminar. I'm not going to get a lot on that. That's fine. I'm doing daily steals. Not going to get a lot of that. That's okay. But here, good photo. I thought through this. This is good content. And guess what? My numbers are back up. I got 20 some people liking it. I got more comments. Again, got a seminar coming up. Not going to get a whole lot on that. I got a little bit more than usual. Podcast, same thing. This one killed me though. Great photo. Nothing. 9 people. And so now that's why I'm telling you, there's rarely a formula. That's probably my favorite running photo of all time. You would expect, oh, you're going to get lots of like and comments. I didn't. And you just don't always. Good video, good numbers, average. But today, good photo. I wrote basically a mini blog about this. And that was this morning. And so far, doing really well. 7 comments, 15 or so. I'm going to let that one churn a little bit. And then I just posted this a minute ago. Come join us. And so good content is your best chance of winning. If you have a good photo, we've just got to know, no matter what our scenarios are, the better the photo, the better the opportunity. Now, I'll say this. If I take this photo of me running here and I make this my profile photo, I'll get more interaction. I will. And that's probably what I'll do at some point in time because I like the photos so much. And I'll reuse this for multiple purposes. Whenever I run a marathon or a race, I buy the photo package. It costs me about $60 and I buy it because they take photos during the whole thing. Not everybody gets that opportunity, but I'm always like, I need good photos. But essentially, if you go by that example, the Metallica concert was a nationwide event and I just happened to be there. I got thousands and thousands of views. Not going to give me clients, but it's going to boost my numbers. This article is part of my brand, my 5-fold bank brand, running, coffee, marketing, family, pop culture. I'm going to spend a week talking about running because that's part of my brand. That's part of what I do. And so I lean into that, the 5-fold brand. I encourage all the clients, everybody, have just 5 things you talk about, and that's all you talk about. So to begin with, you're always going to win if you have good photos and good content. You're not always going to get massive numbers, as this one post demonstrates, but you're going to get a better chance of getting attention. So that's the first thing you've got to have. Don't chase the numbers, but the better the content, the better the opportunity. Now, every now and then, you get lucky. And I'm going to share a story about when I've been lucky. When we're doing the social media world, we begin to look for photos differently. Like our eyeballs begin to think, oh, I can make a piece of content out of that, or I can make a piece of content out of that. And every now and then it happens. So I've only gone viral, meaning like hundreds of thousands of views one time ever. And it was purely by luck and not something that I did. So let me share the story. I wrote a blog post about this a few years ago called How to Go Viral Accidentally on Purpose. So here's the story. Family vacation. This is probably 5-6 years ago. And my daughters, back when they were young, wanted to know if they could bury me in the sand. And I'm like, sure. I'm responding to someone who had a question here. Yes. Hold on one moment and I will answer that question. let's see. Sorry about that. And I will cue that. Someone has a question about what do you do if you can't have professional photos? And guys, here's the thing. I'm fortunate I get professional photos because, one, when I run races, I buy them. I own a marketing company, so I have access to photographers. But typically you can find someone who can help you with professional photos, but every now and then we just got to get good shots. So I hope that answers your question. But back here, so I'm at the beach and the girls ask if they could bury me in the sand. And I'm like, well, of course. Well, they decided to make me look like a pregnant mermaid. So again, I'm buried in the sand up into my head. This is what you do with your dad. And Amy posted that photo on Instagram, my wife, with hashtag pregnant merman, just being funny. Well, this is back when I was a pastor. And then one day, a year later, I started getting all these texts and phone calls. Well, Cosmo magazine, the ladies magazine, did an article on mermaid maternity shoots. So women were getting their maternity photos, but they were dressing up like mermaids. Okay. And then somewhere down here, it says, while Instagram couldn't confirm whether there'd been an increase in pregnant mermaid posts, there are so many of them circulating, even dudes want in on the action. This link is me. So this is what Amy posted. This is her account, and they found her because it says pregnant mermaid. So I'm in Cosmo magazine. I'm in this lady because this article is so old, the images don't pop up anymore. But I started to get phone calls and texts from people at church. Like, have you seen this? And some people found it funny, and some people did not find it funny. And so, Sharon, so glad you joined us on the Zoom.
Good morning.
Morning. I'll finish this point, and then Sharon, I'll come back and do a recap for us. But sometimes, what made that moment of viral happen? It's just Amy was creative with hashtags. And we can't forget the opportunity for that. So we're going to do a bit of a recap, and then we'll do questions and then and go from here. But my point today is how to make content that gets attention. I'm not calling it going viral, because if you chase going viral, you're just chasing numbers for numbers' sake. No amount of number matters of likes and comments unless it gets you leads. I wish I had 20,000 likes. Great. It doesn't do you any good unless you get paid for likes. Good for you. Most of us don't, but you really want leads. And my point being is that we always win with good content. Good photos always stand out. They may not always get you the numbers. And taking the time to write a good post. And so I shared a post for my running this weekend. I've gotten more attention this past week, and that's part of my brand. Part of my brand is running. So that's been great for my numbers. Now I've got to keep it up with good content about marketing if I want to convert that. So I know I've seen Sharon's photos. Sharon's got great photos, and so they're fantastic. Ron, your best attribute is that you're incredibly consistent and you write good copy. You do. And so I'm not saying you don't have good photos. I just see your videos, Ron. I don't see your photos. And I'm not saying you don't. I just see your videos. But if we take the time for good photos and good copy, we put ourselves ahead of the game. Like, I had someone the other day come to me and they said, well, I don't post on Facebook anymore. I got shadow banned. You guys ever heard the shadow ban? Shadow ban is this mythical thing in the social media community when someone thinks that Facebook is holding their account back. And maybe you say something political and they're like, well, I got shadow banned for something I was saying. You didn't get shadow banned. You're not putting out good content. Like, if I just be honest with you, when people say, well, Facebook's so hard to be seen now. True. Put out good content. What helped me this past week? Good photos and good copy. That's all it is. I wrote a story. I got good photos. it's going to go back to the normal. And my goal every single day is to put out good photos, good content. I check my memories every day. I've told all you guys to do this. If I've got a cute photo of my girls and it's a fun story, I'm resharing it, my numbers spike. Why? It's a cute photo of my girls. It's good content. And so don't chase numbers, don't chase likes, but ask ourselves, am I writing good content? Am I putting out the best photo? And sometimes, like that time I was accidentally in Cosmo magazine, you go viral accidentally every now and then. So Sharon, you missed that story. My daughters covered me in sand as a pregnant mermaid. And Cosmo magazine wrote an article about pregnant mermaid shoots. This was the article, maternity photo shoots on Instagram. And they tagged me. This is my dog and so I went viral once because I was a pregnant. And again, look right here. It is hashtag pregnant mermaid. Amy was just being creative with the hashtag. It's Cosmo went and scrubbed Instagram to find all those hashtags. And next thing you know, my church is calling me and asking me what in the world I'm doing in Cosmo magazine. So
that was cool.
So listen, it's a fun story. I was asked to write an article in the local Chamber of Commerce magazine about that moment. I've gotten more tread out of that because again, I'm not going to get any clients from meeting Cosmo, but I thought, well, I'm going to get something out of this moment. So I wrote a blog about it. I wrote an article about it, and now I'm doing a seminar about it. So like the thing is, my best moments in the last month have been going to a Metallica concert because it went nationwide and I had video of it. Not bringing me clients, but I need to do an article about that, right? And then this week I had good photos and good content. And our goal every day in our marketing is got to ask ourselves, is what I'm putting out today good? And some days we have to be bad to be good or average to be good. Some because we're not immediately good, but so we put out what we have and on days where you feel deathly dry, I have nothing to offer here today, then go find something that was good and repost it again. Just go back. No one remembers. I don't mean to hurt our feelings. No one remembers that great post I did 6 months ago. Just redo it. And get some tread off of it. Like if you've got a good post, don't get it once. Like get more and more and more out of it. And so, or just do a throwback Thursday. This is an article I wrote last year, got really great feedback. I thought I'd share it again, then do it again and get the and get some feedback from it again or get some numbers from it again. So I got some folks here online and they were asking about photos. So again, I'm fortunate. I own a marketing company. I have photographers, but it still costs money. So I'm not getting photo shoots every single day. When I do races, I always buy the photo packages because they're good content. I've sent those off. I'm going to get use of those over and over again. But whenever we're in a circumstance or we're around someone who's really good with a camera or a phone, ask for extra photos. Like, hey, would you mind taking a photo of me? Would you mind taking a photo? Well, if you're out and you look good with someone you love, or if you're dressed up a little bit more than usual, get some photos. It's worthwhile for content, and keep them on your phone and look for later on opportunities to use them. But you'll never beat a good article. I mean, you'll just never, like I said, today, this photo was a good photo from the running, but I wrote an article based on it. In LinkedIn, I don't usually share running photos, but I shared one this week and talked about overcoming adversity. And I'm like, how can I use this piece of content on LinkedIn? Usually I'm not running on LinkedIn. Here's how. So, and then you find this piece of content or this photo, and you're like, where can I get multi-uses out of it? And so, well, I need to make business articles out of my running photos. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll take a break after this week. People get tired of seeing the photos, but in a couple of weeks, it's going to come back up and I'll use those. And then I use them in my seminars too. I use my running photos in the seminars all the time, just kind of to clock. So wow, we're already at 9 minutes to go. Thoughts or questions about creating good content or trying to get more attention? Sharon, you've got a question in there somewhere.
So my question is, when you say, well, what's the bar for knowing that we created good content? How do
Well,
we
I mean,
know?
that's a great question. There's two things. I mean, one, when you see significant reaction, we know that. Like the article that I wrote about winning the race this weekend, there was meaningful comments on it, right? I mean, when I get 77 comments, I'm like, that's not normal, right? And it was more than just congratulations. I had a couple of people say something about being inspired, and like when meaningful interaction, that's where we start. Like, okay, I've done something good here. But Sharon, I mentioned this too. Sometimes you know that you've done something good and it just falls flat. And here's what I mean by that. This is my favorite running photo of all time. I just got this. This photo died. I got like 8 comments. Like I thought I was going to get all in all, and it just, to me, this is a meaningful post about things becoming clear and lesser things passing away. I know good content means I put more time into it. I'm expressing. I can look back and go, I said what I wanted to say there. Sometimes we're not going to get the likes and comments. Like just sometimes things get lost in the feed. But I will redo that photo for another purpose at another time. So Sharon, your question is great. The first answer is, well, I know I did above and beyond. I know I worked on this. I didn't just type it out and hit zing. I didn't just get AI to regurgitate it. Like there's times we know, and that's when it's really disappointing. I'm like, this is good work. Where are you, world? Well, that's the social media thing. You got to work it. And so when we get meaningful interaction, we know, okay, this is a good piece of content. Sometimes it's just intrinsic though.
Yeah. So I was just looking back over my page and trying to see if anything really jumps out as far as comments. Not a whole lot of comments, but as far as the little like, love, and all that stuff, I think I'm not hitting more than probably about 20 sometimes.
Well, one thing to consider on that is we do have to be growing our audience. And so we do need to be going out and liking and friending new people to come in, because sometimes our friend group gets used to us. I mean, my friend group is used to me talking about Capitalize. They're like, Gordon, you talk about Capitalize so much. Okay, well, I got to bring in new people that's fresh too. So sometimes we do have to freshen up our audience. One strategy that I mentioned to everybody though is never let a comment go unresponded. So one reply. Oop, missed one there. See, if someone's going to take the time to speak to me and they're sharing, she's awesome, congratulations. So I'm going to reply to every single person.
Right.
And that is going to make that post have more of an interaction in the overall feed.
Yeah.
We just never want it to go unresponded.
I think you said something significant for me when you said go on and like and engage other people. I think that's a piece. Well, I don't think, I know that's a piece where I can improve upon.
Yeah, and Sharon, you're right. And I always encourage everyone, you, Ron, everyone else in the Facebook groups and online, let's seek out our target audience. I mean, it doesn't do me any good to bring in my cousins. God bless them, but they're not going to be buying marketing packages from me. And I need people right now. You know, I work so much in the real estate industry. If Facebook suggests a real estate agent and that we have 36 mutual friends, I'm going to send that person a friend request. I'm like, I need to be connected because there's someone in that 36 that will give me a referral to tell them I'm doing a good job. And so my typical like or sending friend requests is typically in the real estate industry just because I do so much there. Same thing for all of us. I mean, Ron's looking for, authors, looking for people who have written or have that interest in Christian literature. Sharon, you're going to be bringing in, people in business decision-making places, and this is completely off script. Forgive me. Sharon, I heard a quote the other day. Never take a no from the person who doesn't have the power to say yes.
That's
And I'm
pretty
just
good.
thinking about you as you're going and you're hitting, you're establishing relationships, working your way up the ladder.
Mhm.
That might just be a future seminar.
Okay.
That would
All
just
right.
hit me. I was like, man, but
That
guys,
was good.
I think Sharon asked a really significant question there. First of all, in our heart, we got to know we did good content. I mean, we're, am I communicating the problems I solve? Am I sticking to my brand? Am I doing my best to put the best photo out there? If my graphics are bad, am I doing everything I can to fix them? With my podcast, I used not to take the time to put the best photo or with the thumbnail, and I just had to fix that. I was lazy. I was like, why am I not doing a good thumbnail on this YouTube? And so, Ron, do you do thumbnails for all your YouTubes?
I had it on mute. No, I don't. I probably should.
Yeah, put that in your marker for you and I to talk about. YouTube definitely wants you to create thumbnails that are attractive. We'll talk about that.
I do it on my podcasts.
Yeah, yep, that's right. Yeah, Anchor and YouTube want you to put a thumbnail in there. That's the representative when people go to your page. So, other questions about creating content that gets attention? Okay. Well, this has been great, guys. Remember, first of all, good photos, good copy will always give you an advantage. That's the first. We got to give ourselves an advantage. If it's lazy writing, we're not helping ourselves. And I do it. I mean, I know it. I mean, as much content as we're all producing, there's times where like, I didn't put enough attention in that. We got to look for photos. We got to look for opportunities to have good pictures or good graphics. And then we just got to ask ourselves on the other end, if I was stumbling upon this, would I want to read it? If I was stumbling upon it, would I want to take a moment for it? And then that will always give us an advantage. So, well, friends, thank you. And Sharon, I started this by just praising you for how well you did last week. And so I appreciate that. That episode is still being edited. I sent it off to a friend who's got a little better skill than I do. So those will be posted again soon. This will go up, I hope, by tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great day. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Hi, Ron.
man.
Bye, Ron.
Bye.
Bye, guys.